In Amanda Kleiner's line of work, the stakes don't get much higher.
We work with 5 families at a time, and day to day is home visiting with our families.
Just 6% of Australian kids are Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, yet they make up almost half of all children in out-of-home care. Amanda's job is to keep Aboriginal families together.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good, you good, ready for our catch-up?
Yeah, ready.
Cool, am I right to come in?
You're right.
Cool, let's do it.
Today she's meeting a mother of 2 in Sydney. For legal reasons, we'll call her Tani.
I've noticed there's no daughter here today.
Yeah, my daughter's away with family members at the moment.
The family was assessed as high risk by the New South Wales Department of Communities and Justice, or DCJ, due to concerns about substance abuse, gambling, family conflict and school attendance. This mum has 2 years to turn things around or her kids could be removed. And Amanda is here to help.
So how are the kids going now with school?
Yeah, really good actually. The attendance have improved.
Yeah, we've heard that feedback from the school as well.
I even got a compliment from the school advisor as well, so that was
That's
good, yeah.
Amanda works for Narang Barong, a support service by and for Aboriginal people.
All right, let's have a look.
They've helped Tani set up daily routines, taken her to appointments and even bought her a washing machine.
Might be worth maybe even a dryer, darling.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of hanging space outside, is there?
No, there's not. Yeah, I'm comfortable with them. No judgment or anything like that.
It's my mostly favourite. An owl.
Okay, lovely. Well, thanks for having me today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We've got a really good plan in place. I will touch base next week.
I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son.
What do they mean to you?
Everything, yeah, my whole heart, life. I used to have this saying, they make my heart beat.
Tani grew up in outback New South Wales. Her own mother was removed as a child and later battled drug addiction.
I never had no support or encouragement or anything like that, you know. Yeah, I just thought that they didn't know how to do it. I started hanging around the wrong kids and getting into trouble with the police and getting into drugs. Yeah, I've been smoking since I was a child, yeah.
Do you know roughly how old?
It would have been 8 or 9, yeah.
When her kids were born, Tani was in a violent relationship. To escape it, she moved to Sydney and spent 10 weeks in rehab, but years on continues to grapple with addictions to alcohol, cannabis and gambling. In April, she reached out for help and the department referred her to Narang Barong.
I feel way better, yeah. A lot of stress was lifted off my back and out of my mind as well.
With support, Tani asked her extended family to move out to create a more stable home for the kids, and she's about to go into a rehab facility designed for families. In a few months, the department will return for its next risk assessment. Do you ever let yourself think about that possibility if the kids were to be taken into care?
Sometimes I do, yes. I think they'd be better off sometimes, but yeah, I would never do that to my kids. I'd fight for them as long as I can, yeah. I wouldn't give up on my kids.
Back at the office, Amanda and her colleagues are planning the rest of their week.
A lot of the parents that we're working with have their own background stories of removal. It can play out in many, many different forms, obviously, as trauma does. If we look at domestic and family violence, we look at drug and alcohol use, we're seeing a lot of that.
Over the past year, Narang Barong worked with 45 families. Almost 90% of them were able to safely keep their kids at home.
I do think it is really important that we do have Aboriginal workers working with Aboriginal families because we understand the misconceptions. I'm able to walk into a home and connect with our families purely based on because I have a complete understanding and empathy for the situation that they're in.
In New South Wales, just 13% of child protection funding goes towards early intervention and family support. Of that, around 1/10 goes to Aboriginal-run organisations. State Minister for Families and Communities, Kate Washington, declined an interview with 730, but said in a statement that reducing the number of Aboriginal children in the system was a key priority. And the New South Wales Government is committed to ensuring more families have access to culturally appropriate services.
The system is so broken. I just don't understand how no one's seeing it. It feels like we're just all blindfolded and we're just like blindly letting this happen.
When Tyra Chan Hampton was 11, a knock at the door changed her life.
Me and my sister had no idea what was happening. We were in the shower. We put our towel on, walk out, and there's about 5 police officers just standing right outside our door. I'm clinging onto my mum saying, "Mum, like, don't let them take me." The police officers physically removing me off her, and the trauma will never leave me.
Tyra says her mum was battling addiction at the time and had recently lost her baby to SIDS.
She did use drugs as a way to cope with the loss and trauma that she's experienced. She's been sober for so long now, and I'm incredibly proud of her.
Tyra lived in kinship care with her auntie, but she had around 20 caseworkers in 8 years, and her time in the system put a strain on her family relationships.
I experienced more harm within the system than what I ever did when I was at home.
Now 21, Tyra is in her final year of a social work degree and wants to help reform the system.
So many children and young people are still being traumatised by a system where, they're supposed to be looking out for your best interest.
Nationally, once Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children enter the system, only 1 in 6 will return to their family. Many will end up behind bars. One survey found almost 3/4 of Indigenous children in detention had prior contact with the child protection system.
It's not about what's going to happen, it's about what is happening.
Vanessa Turnbull Roberts grew up in foster care in New South Wales. She went on to become a human rights lawyer and was this year named the Australian Capital Territory's first Commissioner for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children.
The system is not built for our people, and that's why it's not working. What we know is the funding needs to be driven into the hands of community-controlled organisations.
Nationally, reforms are underway to make that happen, but progress varies from state to state. The New South Wales Government said it would transfer case management of all Aboriginal children to Aboriginal-run organisations by 2022, but so far only 1/5 of cases have changed hands. At the current pace, an audit found it will take a staggering 57 years to complete the process. State Minister for Families and Communities, Kate Washington, said previous governments had failed to deliver on that pledge and vowed to do better.
We are at tipping point, we are at a crisis, and we actually don't have time to wait.
The Productivity Commission has found that governments across Australia are failing to close the gap in out-of-home care. In February, the Prime Minister pledged to appoint a National Commissioner for Indigenous Children to hold governments to account, but that appointment is yet to be made. Without urgent change, the cycle seems doomed to continue. But mums like Tani are determined to break it.
I just want to have a stable life for me and my kids. I want them to have a good education, a house and a yard so they can run around with, so we can get a pet and things like that.